All right, welcome again to my next video, and in this video we're going to talk about the tool sets that if they taught us in school would have been better. Now, before I even say anything about the tool sets, I would like to say one thing. The reason why I've even put them in order of mindset, skill set to tool set is for a reason. Because in anything that you want to achieve, if you don't have the mindset that you need, it's almost going to be impossible for you to get it. And then if you don't, and from the mindset it comes to the skills. Now even with the skills, for you to build those skills, it needs, I want to say failure, but then it's really learning, because you want to do it and then learn and get better until you build that skill. And with that, you need a strong mindset. So with that being said, if you haven't watched my other video, the first one talking about mindset, you should consider doing that, because if you don't have it, then whatever I say today might not make sense. Now I promise you by the end of this video you're gonna learn some tool sets that maybe that we haven't got from school, and this is basically from people who went to school in Tanzania. And if you went to school in somewhere other than Tanzania and Africa, probably can apply, but then if it doesn't, cool. But then here I'm gonna start. So first I'm gonna talk about tool sets when it comes to money, and the first one is online managing money. So one thing in Tanzania that when I remember growing up, we didn't have ways where we could look at our money, or maybe to be able to look, use our money or understand how money works using online methods. Now, of course, now it's a little different, but I'm gonna just show you an example. This is the 10,000 shillings. This is Tanzanian money if you've never seen it before. But basically, the reason why, if we had learned how to use online, to access money online, we'll be able to understand the simple fact that money is spiritual. And what do I mean by that? So if you think about it, we're humans, and what's the difference between us and all other animals in the universe is that we can speak, because language is a spiritual characteristic. What do I mean by that? Language can exist in, like I'm talking to you right now, I'm in America, you, whatever you are, but you can listen to what I'm talking about. This 10,000 shilling right here is one note that, if it's 10,000 because we agree that it's 10,000. Now, of course, I tried to explain a little bit then from how I learned, and I actually learned this from Myron Golden. I'm gonna leave a link to his video where you can go watch how he talks about it, and you can understand more. But to just give you a base aspect, is just money is spiritual. So once you learn that money is spiritual, then if you want to earn more, it's easier for you to earn more, because you now understand on a deeper level, not only thinking of money as a, as a paper. Second thing is wallet. Now in school, I remember going to school, I had a wallet, but that was because of my dad, and I think most Africans, most Tanzanians that I knew had wallets because at home people had it, but then schools just never talked about stuff like that. And my real goal here is to drive to maybe tweak the system a little bit, because if we want to prepare our African young people to become leaders in the future, we need to prepare them better. And how do you prepare them better? These are the things that if we talked about in school, maybe it would have been better. So next will be tool sets towards money. Another one is stocks and options. See, before when I heard those words, I just thought stocks and options, that sounds too complicated, but it's really not. But if we learned more about, okay, so, and this kind of ties in with the online. So if we learned how those things work, how investing could actually help us, these are things that would actually be beneficial to our lives. So what's next is tool sets towards health. Now with this one, we talk about sleep trackers. Before they seem like fancy. I thought it was, but then when you grow up, you start looking at how your health matters in terms of like how much time you let your body rest. These are very important things. Now, when you're younger, you think, you can just sleep wherever time and you don't have a system, you wake up early. But if you can actually track how you sleep and actually be intentional on those things. Now, these are tools we didn't have in school. And we didn't even talk about it. We talked about it, we didn't stress it enough because we were busy talking about complex stuff that really didn't matter. Next, calorie counter. I remember thinking calorie was not what I now know it is. I just thought, what is that? Calorie. But it's really energy. It's really energy coming in. Well, if you calorie in is calorie energy in, and then the calorie out is energy out. So learning how calories work, that can help you, and your family and everyone you have in your life to be able to manage their health. These are skills. These are tools that you can have. Activity tracker. Now, this is something that I've seen very common, is that we'll, go to school, get a degree, work in an office job, and then what happens? Tumbo kubwa kama nani, ndio hivyo. And then we call, money, tumbo la hela, tumbo la pesa. But really, if we had tools from a younger age in school talking about you could track your activities, tracking if how many steps you put in. I'm sure now we probably have them, but I'm talking about before. And at the same time, these are things that would have been beneficial to us. And I'm not complaining. I'm really just saying, based on an observing thing, because if no one says it, I've never heard anybody talk about it. So I'd rather say it and know that, maybe someday somebody's going to watch it and then maybe hopefully make a change. Towards relationship, you have some tools that you need. Reminders. This is something I learned very late. Hopefully not too late. But these are things, because this is one thing that happens to a regular person. You can tell me if that's happened to you. Unaenda shule, una marafiki kibao, umaliza shule, kila mtu umeshasana naye. You go to school, you had a lot of friends. You're like, okay. And then after school's over, you keep in touch a little bit, you meet here and there, and then what happens? You guys just lose touch. But if you think about it, because the people that you meet at the time when you're in school, those are one of the most genuine relationships you're going to have. And what you want to do is you want to nurture them. And nurturing them requires intentionality. And how do you put intentions to do that? You can use tools such as reminders. I put a reminder every 3 months for some people that I want to check on. Just, hey, how you doing? Whatever. Keep in touch, because you don't want to lose that. You never know. You don't want to and then what happens when you call them when it's been a while? They think you want something. You need money, you need whatever. But if you did it when you have reminders and you're checking on people generally, not doing just because you want to ask them for help one day, but just doing it from the perspective of making sure you nurture the relationships that you have, you'll be better off. Last one is calendar. This is something I used to, I laugh to this day because I was even teaching my dad how to use one. And, before I used to think for me to look at my calendar, I have to have some sort of job or whatever. But what I realized is with calendars, it just makes your life, because you don't want to start thinking about things that you don't have to. If you hurt your brain thinking of, what do I do next? What do I have next week? I have to remember that I'm going here, and then you're constantly forgetting commitments that you made with people. Now with calendar, you can, I'm gonna tell you this, when I started using my calendar, I started by just putting shower, brush teeth, wake up, lunch, dinner. But now it's full of meetings and full of other things, and this is all because I started. And when you do, people, you become that person of your word, because you're gonna forget. This is what my mentor told me. My brain is gonna forget, my phone won't. And we have one, and right now there's no excuse. So of course they didn't give us to us, they didn't teach us. We had a paper calendar, whatever, but it was just to know the date. But if we thought about it as a thing where we could use it and plan our things and get better, imagine how that would have looked like. But now it's not too late to start using one. So if you're listening and you don't use your calendar, start using it. I mean, you're probably going to hear it from me, but I don't know if someone else is going to tell you. Last bonus one is actually books. Now this is something that, what I want to say is start. I didn't say read books. I didn't say buy a book. I just said start. And by start means just start by reading. These are things that we just say, oh yeah, you know, read the book, and then what we think is that we deny from doing that because we think it's not your identity. But when you're doing that, you're also blocking yourself from a lot of blessings. And I said blessings because it is a blessing to read a book and learn more knowledge. So knowledge is power. We know that. So with that, I'm going to leave you with that, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching this video.